In order to help students with the class, I wrote my own Python package called remoteDBconnector. Now the problem is remoteDBconnector isn't an Anaconda, and we can actually see that by going to the Environments tab and then typing in remoteDBconnector in the not installed. And as you can see, nothing shows up. Now, the thing is, as much as possible, you want to install all packages through the Anaconda Environments tab. When you can't do that, or you have a special piece of software, then you can use the tricks and tips that I'm about to describe using the Pip Install function as part of Python. So, with that, let's go back to the instructions for the remoteDBconnector installation. So I've put a few notes here that you guys can follow. The general steps for installing remoteDBconnector using Anaconda are listed here. For those of you that are using virtual environments and set up your own Python environments, I also have some instructions that you can follow as needed. The first step we're going to take is to install a few packages that we need through the Anaconda Navigator. These include SSHtunnel, Config Parser, PyMySQL, and PyMongo. To install these 4 packages, we're going to go to the Environments tab of the Anaconda Navigator. There, search for each package one at a time, and click the box next to the package name. This will indicate that you've selected the package for installation. Once you've selected all 4, go ahead and click the Apply button. This will begin installation. As you can see, PyMongo will now show up as being installed when we click on the Installed tab. After downloading the prerequisite packages, we're going to download the zip folder or zip file that actually contains the code we want to install. So go ahead and download the zip file. Go to the folder where you downloaded it and extract what's inside. Here you'll actually see a series of folders, and inside those folders will be installation code along with the actual program associated with the package. So here you see the installation code, and here's the program. With that, make note of where this folder is, because we're going to use it later. Once we've downloaded all the prerequisite packages, we're going to use the Powershell prompt along with the Pip command in order to install the remoteDBconnector package we just downloaded. So go ahead and launch a PowerShell. The first step that we need to take is we need to change directories to where we downloaded the program. Now in this case, the package that we downloaded is in our downloads folder, and it was unzipped into remoteDBconnector-main. So here what you see me doing is I typed in dir to see the files that are currently in the folder that we're working with. I see that I'm in the folder that contains the downloads folder. From there, all we have to do is cd or change directory into downloads. Now, I used a little trick here called tab completion. Instead of typing in the word downloads and pressing return, I just typed in cd space DOW and I press the tab key. And in the PowerShell, it will automatically finish typing the word downloads. Now in this case, you'll notice whenever I use tab completion, this PowerShell adds a few extra characters like the ./ at the beginning of downloads and the / at the end. But you don't actually need these characters. Again, you could have just typed in cd downloads. After that, we can type in dir again, and we'll see the remoteDBconnector-main folder. We'll cd again into that folder, And again, we see a folder called remoteDBconnector.main. Now, inside of this folder is where the Python package is located. So at this point, the next step is to use the pip command. The pip command is just another way to install packages. Normally, when you have Anaconda, you don't use pip. It actually is using a different program in the background called Conda every time you go to the Environments tab. Pip is sort of the command line version of Conda. Now, it's not always a good idea to use pip and Conda at the same time. That's why we try to install as many of the packages as possible using the Environments tab. And only those packages that we need to install using pip do we do using the PowerShell. All right, so the next step is just to type pip install and then the name of the folder where the package is located. Oh, and of course -main, right? That's the name of the folder. Again, so I just did tab completion to show you that I could do it, but they'd both work. So you don't need this to do the tab completion if you don't want to. And here we see everything getting installed. You'll notice that it sees that config parser, SSH tunnel, PyMySQL, and PyMongo are already downloaded. Likewise, there are a few other packages that it sees are already existing, so it doesn't need to do extra work. But from there, we now have our package downloaded and installed.